in a minute.
Tonight's conversation with Sierra Dawn Thoms is brought to you by you, our weekly viewers and listeners. Thank you for being a part of the D&D community.
Hi, I'm David Wright from Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X, and this is Survivor Talk with Dwaine and David. Whatever generation you're from, these guys are worth listening to.
Welcome to Survivor Talk with D&D. I am Dwaine, and we are just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. I already said I'm Dwaine, so I won't say it again. And I'm here with my best friend and co-host, David Jones. Hello, David.
Hello, Dwaine.
How are you today?
I'm dandy. Just dandy.
Are you? Nice. I had a horrible 30 minutes before the podcast. Like, horrible.
But you're not going to tell us about it, right? You're not going to tell us.
Tonight we are pleased to welcome to our show, all the way from whatever episodes of Survivor she was on to now, Sierra Dawn Thoms. Hello, Sierra.
What is up, guys? Hello.
Hello. She was initially, when we first called her, riding around on a horse, and we asked her to go to her room instead.
That is true. That is very true.
Yes. Usually when I see you on Instagram, you're either hiking with somebody, drinking with somebody, or helping a horse give birth. It's one of those things.
Oh my gosh, you nailed it. My life is so crazy. I love to hike, I love to drink, and I love horses. So yes, pretty much nailed it.
That is you. Man, well, we are very glad that you decided to come on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you are prepared to have fun, because that's what we do.
Always.
It's just a conversation. We are not interviewing you.
Love it.
All right. So we're just going to have a good old time. You speak whenever you want to speak. Say what you want to say. Keep it clean, but say what you want to say. All right.
Okay. Copy.
Hang around to the end, everybody, and she might just give you ways to follow her, which sounds creepy, but it's not. Like an Instagram and things like that. So make people stay to get that.
I like it.
And then you can see her horse going around in a circle while she sits there and talks about it. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's too good. It's so true.
There are several people in the chat room. Well, I should say a couple people in the chat room. And they are at stwdd.com/live. They typically chat among themselves during the show. But listen, people in the chat room, if you have a comment or question, just keep pasting it until we answer it, because we don't always pay attention to what's going on in there, because y'all start talking about all kinds of stuff. It's crazy in there. So I do want to thank our newest D&D patron, Debbie Sapp. She has the wonderful opportunity to send us a riddle, David. She gets to send us a riddle.
That was your idea.
This is why people are patrons, so they can send us riddles.
Yes.
But anyway, she's going to send us a riddle, and we're going to read it and open it and solve it on the air. Actually, we'll sound like idiots because we won't be able to solve it, but that's okay. And if you'd like to support us financially, as Debbie did, simply go to our website, look for the Patreon flippy thing, or go to stwdd.com/Patreon. So let's get right to it. Before we dive into Survivor, Sierra, tell us what's been going on with you lately.
Oh, goodness. Obviously, a lot of horse stuff.
Yes.
Back with my horses. I'm about to graduate firefighter school, which is super exciting. Yeah.
Whoa, that's cool.
So, in the midst of everything, I'm trying to go to school for that, do my horses, still do a little modeling. It's been super crazy, but I'm very lucky. Yeah.
So I had to give up the modeling. It was taking too much family time, so I had to stop.
Well, okay, this whole fireman or this firewoman thing fits into both your horses and your modeling, because firemen have a yearly calendar, which I'm buying if you're on it. All right. And then the old fireman had a carriage with horses pulling it.
Absolutely. It's really funny. My friends always tell me, they say when I'm going to go into burning buildings, they're going to think I'm a stripper, not really somebody there to save them. And they're going to be like, are you really here to save my life?
They're going to pull up a chair in the middle of the flames. Then happy.
Then another fireman comes in and she says, hold on. They say, hold on just a minute. I've got somebody else here with me. I'll leave with you. Yeah. She came first. She got here first. Hold on.
Sierra's the only one leaving with a bunch of ones. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets those tips as she's putting out fires.
That's so bad.
Yeah, they like put them in your pockets, stuff like that. So that is really cool. What made you want to be? Now, is it fireman when you're a woman? How's that work?
I don't know. Yeah, you can call it a firewoman, fireman. What made me want to do it is it runs in my family. My uncle was a firefighter. And then I had the opportunity to go and do the courses one time and just fell in love with it. Got to go into burning buildings, rappel, climb the ladders, do everything. And I just fell in love with it. I want to make this my career. So why not?
That was really cool. But you'll still pursue modeling.
You know what? I think I'm getting a little bit old, and I think I'm going to put modeling on the back burner a little bit. I'm still going to rodeo and try to do firefighting as well. Like those are my two main things right now.
David, Sierra's old.
Well, guys, I kind of am.
Well, we're 48. So.
Wow, you are.
We're the two old guys. How old is too old for modeling? Is it like 24, 25 is when they start going,
Yeah, you just move into a different type of modeling. Right now I'm doing a lot of catalog stuff still. I'm kind of too old for runway. A lot of things I'm just getting too old for, unfortunately.
Yeah. But at least you're not doing plus size underwear modeling.
I'm glad I'm not there yet. I might get there, but not yet.
Dwaine, don't be picking on my profession. Look,
Yeah, David is the whitey-tighty. Anyway, let's move on.
Also mighty. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, mighty whitey tighty, ladies and gentlemen, David Jones. All right. So what's life like before your first season, in between, and now? You're not really part of everybody in the world wants to go to all the Survivor stuff. You're not as into that, right?
After my first season, I feel like I played with that a little bit. And then I saw my horses getting older, and I was, not doing rodeo as much. And I just realized what's important in my life. I love Survivor. It was a great time, but I have these horses that I've worked the last 10 years to make my name in the rodeo world that need me every single day. So I've kind of changed up my priorities a little bit.
David said I called you Sarah, but I did not.
Oh, you did.
No, I did not.
It's okay.
I told
fine.
I said don't apologize. She's already proven me right. So let me go with this. So to add to what he said, after Worlds Apart, you guys have been called in the community one of the tightest casts to ever play. So was your continuity of staying with Survivor part of the fact that that cast was so tight and y'all did a lot of things together?
100%. Yeah. And of course I have Mike and Joe and all of these huge Survivor fans who love to talk Survivor every single day. So it just, it became every part of my life. We would talk about it, I never thought I would play again, but listening to them, just sitting on the couch while all those boys were talking, I learned a lot. So that's good.
They do like to talk about, go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
Before Worlds Apart though, what kind of a Survivor fan were you?
I've seen it. I remember the first season. I'm not one who's seen every single season. I obviously love the show. I remember watching the first episode, standing in my kitchen being like, I can do this show. And it was crazy once I did. But I'm not a super fan. I can't name off people like they can. And they're super intelligent when it comes to knowing Survivor.
Yeah. So how did you go into the casting process? Did you get called from your cataloging, or you said you applied?
I did. So, kind of. I met Angelia Layton, who I don't even know what season she was on. Utah girl. We were at a photo shoot together, and her season was just airing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm watching you on Survivor. This is crazy. I would love to do it. She told me about it, gave me a caster's email, and then I sent in the videos. I tried for Blood versus Water with my dad. Didn't get on. They called me for the next season, said, send in a video by yourself. So then I sent one in by myself and got on.
I'm going to embarrass myself by knowing this, but she's the cookie girl, right? Isn't she the one that wanted cookies?
Yes, that's her.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So from Philippines.
Yes.
Yeah, she was on Malcolm's Tribe in Philippines. That's right.
By the way, you know how you were talking about the, 30, how they like to talk all the time. So I went to lunch with Mike. Yes, name drop. And so we're sitting down eating wings, and he's like, so what'd you think about, like the coming season? Who's going to win? I'm like, I just want to eat wings and talk to you, man. I don't want.
Always. It's always on their mind.
Survivor.
Always 24/7.
Yeah. There you go. Oh man, David, what else you got? I know you got all kinds of things to ask her.
I do, and I'm going to warn you that we've kind of our discussion recaps have kind of evolved into not being in order. So some of these
Totally
questions
fine.
might feel out of order. I'm going to start with a question from my buddy Matt, who, let's see, and I know that you've been spoken to by people in Maine that want you to come visit Maine right? And so if you ever get a chance, you would be more than welcome to. Yes, he's a buddy of mine that we played together in Maine, and he had a really neat question. He said he was curious how the two places you played, Fiji and Nicaragua, compared, and was one harder to survive on than the other based on weather conditions or the natural resources?
Oh my goodness. Yes, absolutely. Nicaragua had so much more than Fiji had. Obviously, that big cyclone had came through and wiped out everything in Fiji. I didn't see one snake. I didn't see one lizard. Whereas in Nicaragua, when anything would come in camp, I would chase it with a machete and kill it and eat it. So it was totally different. There was a time in Fiji that I didn't eat for 14 days, nothing.
No way.
And that was so different from Nicaragua because we could live off of the land. And in Fiji, there was absolutely nothing. So it was a million times harder and colder. It was freezing.
So what lengths would you go to eat after 14 days?
It's, you know what? It's weird. I think it's the first like 5 to 7 days that you start getting upset and angry. And then you hit that point and you're just like, okay, I'm not going to eat. Like it just becomes what it is.
Right.
But I mean, I've never been so hungry. It's so weird in my life now. I realize that when I get hungry, I get legit anxiety and I'm like, I need to eat, even if it's just like a little bit hungry. It's affected my life.
Because of that experience.
100%. Yeah.
Wow.
It's so crazy.
So I don't remember exactly, but were you still on the island when Dan magically found those watermelon-like fruits that appeared in a bush that looked like it belonged in the desert?
Yes, me, him, and Rodney were the three who got to enjoy that. I don't even know what it was, but it was so delicious.
Did you peel off the Safeway tag before you ate it?
I know. I kept asking Dan, and he's like, "I ripped it off the root." And I'm like, "Dude, I have searched this place. Where did you find it?" He's like, "I found it back by the river." Yeah. But I don't know. He stood by the fact that he ripped it off the root. I don't know.
We talked to some folks in the season before, and they're like, I've never seen anything like those things on that beach.
I have no idea.
Who was it that we talked to that said, I walked that trail every single day and it was not there and the size it was. Well, I don't know who it was.
It's probably Mike Holloway.
I don't know. Yeah, probably was. So
since we didn't, we've had you on before. If you haven't heard her, then you're not a patron. But you need to hear the Kelly and Friends podcast. But we didn't really go into great detail. Did you like that plug? That was good. About your season. So I warned you that we might throw a few Worlds Apart questions at you. But since it was your first experience in the game, what was your first thought standing on those mats when Lindsay said the winner's coming from this tribe? Were you totally stoked about your tribe? Did you look at the other two and say, "Oh, I wish I was with so and so"? Other than Joe, but did I wish I was with so and so? What was your first? Because tell us people that want to play, tell us what that first moment was like standing on those mats.
It was surreal. It was scary. And my palms were sweating. I had butterflies. I was looking around. I was super happy with the tribe I was on. Especially when Lindsay said that, it just, I don't know, it kind of lit something underneath me. And I was like, holy cow, like it is on this mat. And it kind of brought us together. It was a really weird, simple thing that she said, but it brought us all together at that moment.
I know that was for people that read the edit, everybody jumped on that quote. All right, so we can narrow it down to 6 people. The winner's coming from the blue collar tribe. You know, and I was like, nah, it doesn't mean anything. Of course it did. My winner pick was Mike. So actually that's the only season I've ever picked a winner. And
wow.
He jumped out at me, but I should have just dropped the mic then and gone on.
Right.
But was there anybody on your tribe right away? Just a few questions about Worlds Apart, but anybody on the Eskameka or Eskameka, whatever the name was, the blue collar tribe that you were thinking like, oh, I can work with them. Do I want to do a girl? Did you want to do a women's alliance? Did you want to work with anybody? Because Kelly, it seemed almost immediately went with the guys.
Right.
Like she was, yeah.
And I like the guys. Like, obviously, I don't have many girlfriends. I hang out with dudes all the time. So, yeah, I was looking around, and I could tell that Kelly was a girl's guy. You know what I mean? Like, she looked like I could work with her. And then I looked at Mike, and I was like, you know what? That's my type of people right there. I want to work with Mike.
Yeah, Mike seemed like he was a fun guy to hang around with out there on the island.
Oh my gosh, he's hysterical. He is so much fun to be around, and his voice just makes me so happy when I hear it. Just make me talk.
Why don't we rehash the whole Dan thing? You know,
trying to remember which one.
Which Dan thing? Yeah, which Dan thing you're talking about? We're talking about the shelter building, or the Rodney joking, or
not the Rod. No, the stuff that had to deal with her, where he was like, "I know women," and then whenever he goes to talk to you, he just totally didn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was so interesting to watch.
It was interesting for me because usually when people apologize, they don't always say you're right, but they say I'm wrong. And he wasn't even saying that. He was kind of trying to apologize, but then blame me for it. And I was like, who is this guy? Like, is this an apology right now?
That's right.
Like, it did not make sense at all.
Yeah, I definitely remember that. And then later on, y'all were all sitting around the fire, and he was, oh my gosh, he said something that just was totally.
He said something about I know how to build. That's never going to work, or it went into a bunch of. Was there anything from that earlier segment of the Blue Collar Tribe that we didn't see that you wish we had? Do you recall anything?
I mean, not so much gameplay. There was, me and Rodney would have rap battles around the campfire, which were pretty legit in my opinion, that you guys didn't get to see.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, right? Like, that's good. I feel like that's good TV. But other than that, no, there wasn't. Me and Mike call each other Boo Boo, and we have, because that first night we tried to build the shelter, and we built just the bed part, and we were all laying on it, and it broke. And we all had to sleep like slanted. Right. And that night, for some reason, that nickname with him and I stuck. Until this day, we always answer the phone. What's up, Boo Boo? Like, it's really weird from day one of knowing him.
Is that, and forgive me, I'm also not a Survivor knowledge person. Is that?
Oh, I like knowledgeist. Stick with that word. I love that.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more like a knowledgeist person. Were you on the tribe where Dan kept saying, "This is not going to work. This is not going to work," and then they all laid on it and it collapsed? Was that?
Yeah, and he was like, "Bamboo can't hold a fat guy." Like, that's when he gave us the lecture of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so then he fell down. I think he said he landed on somebody.
I was on a good side. I kind of was on the uphill part of the fall, so I just stayed there and watched everybody fall.
Yeah. That's where you want to be.
Right.
That's right.
So when Dan said it, Bamboo won't hold a fat guy, did y'all turn to production and say, who got the fat guy?
Yeah.
Who casted the fat guy?
Yeah. What's up with that?
I just couldn't handle it. I mean, you see me. I grabbed my shirt and I'm like, I can't handle this guy right now. Like, I couldn't handle the way he was talking. It was hysterical.
Well, I have a question because one of the things I really appreciated CBS showing us this season was whenever you were sitting around the campfire where y'all would always sit, and it was just a real moment of I hate this. You know, I just drained. I really thought that was nice that CBS would show us that, because I know it happens.
Right.
And how often does it happen? And did it happen in both seasons? And which one was worse? Or
I think we were more open to talk about it the second time around. The first time around, people really didn't complain. You kind of kept to yourself, didn't really say that it was hard to be there. The second time, though, the girls slept under shelter. So I slept in between Andrea and Aubrey. And every night we would talk about how hard the second time, and for some third time, it was. And they would even cry, or we'd try to talk about home. And things got so real when we were going to sleep. And we would just be like, why is it so much harder this second time? But it truly was a million times harder.
Well, so was that kind of like an out of game time? Because I know a lot of people say that you're always in the game, but if you three are laying there talking about home and stuff, was that part of strategy, or did y'all find yourselves laying there really kind of bonding and it was kind of outside the game?
At first, I would say I went into it as strategy, being like, I'm not with these girls, but I'm really good at getting to know people on a personal level. So I want them to be comfortable with me and not want to get rid of me. But then as the days went on and it turned into this every night girl talk, and I was not in alliance with Aubrey or Andrea, and here I am smack in the middle talking with them, it came real. It became real life. And I guess you could call it, we're out of the game for a second.
Yeah. So like you go to bed playing the game and then you're out of the game because y'all are bonding.
Right.
And then you get up and then it's like, don't.
Almost quite literally. I'd be like, okay, where's Culpepper? Where's Troy Zan? See you guys later.
Yeah. Where's Sarah, who I am her best friend of all times?
I mean, I thought so. Man.
Oh, don't go for the knife right at the beginning.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I was good. Actually, Dwaine read my mind because I was going to read our first feedback from Matus in Poland. He said that we saw a lot of emotional breakdowns this season. In what way was this season harder than season 30? I mean, didn't you feel more prepared for this season, or did things hit you in a different way?
I personally didn't feel prepared. I don't know if you guys heard, but I got told at the beginning of the year I might be getting used, and then I got a 48-hour notice.
Yeah.
So I was told I wasn't going to be going, and then got a 48-hour notice. So I didn't feel mentally prepared. But why I think it was harder was, I don't know. I mean, you're looking around at these people that you admire, these players that you've watched, and you're like, holy cow, I'm playing with them. So that in and of itself is draining. You're trying to keep up. And then Jeff tells you it's game changers and you don't feel worthy to be there. So you're like, holy shit, like I have to prove myself. So I just think I went harder from dusk till dawn every day. That's why it was tougher for me.
I think I remember calling you. I don't know why I was calling you, but I think I called you on the phone to try to get you to come on the show because someone had backed out and I was trying to wait, that sounds horrible. I'm just kidding. So I tried to call you and then you were like, I can't be on the show. Sorry. And then of course you left.
She just hung up on him. Yeah. Because she said you calling last minute is not the same as CBS calling last minute. So,
that's so sad.
And so then I got off the phone with you and I called Varner and Varner goes, well, I can't talk either. And I went, you're going to be on that. You're going to be on there, aren't you? And he goes, who have you talked to? Did they say anything about it? So it was fun. It was interesting.
Funny.
So if you were given more time, because you're obviously a model and you do a lot of physical things, whether it's hiking or drinking or horseback riding, but would you have done, if you'd had a week, like I love listening to Tony, he talked about eating jars of peanut butter.
Right.
Every day. Would you have done anything physically different to add more pounds or anything? Because obviously you had 48 hours. You used to look like a model when you got out there. And that's the PS of Matus's feedback. He says, I'm not an expert, but your nails look perfect the entire time, by the way.
Yeah. What's up?
Yes, I would have changed a lot. I would have not only mentally, but I would have ate a lot. I would have put more weight on. And it's so funny about the nails. I just want to touch on that. I got them done 4 days before I got the call to go on Survivor. And they were shellac. And the last thing on my mind as I'm trying to get my horses in order and pack my bag was, should I take my gel nail polish off? So I just rocked with it. And oh my gosh, so many people commented on those. It was absolutely crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah. People find whatever they can to comment on.
You're right.
It's like they're really showing all the sides of They're showing all the sides of Sierra because they got her cowgirl jeans on. She's in a long sleeve shirt and her nails are done perfect.
That's
so it's all.
I know. Oh,
she's like, "Where's the horse reward? Give me a horse and some barrels, and I am.
Please.
I'll do whatever it takes to win that challenge.
Oh, absolutely.
Get the whole crew to come help me across a pole. Yep. How many reward things did you get to go on? Amy?
Oh shoot, I don't know.
I didn't remember.
Not many. It didn't feel like many, to be honest.
Wait, was it? Oh, see, this just shows how
she was the one back in the ocean making alliances with people that were not on the rewards.
Yeah, trying at least.
Who all was on the plane with Debbie whenever she said, they don't really understand how amazing it is to fly in a plane, or they're all excited. Yeah. I remember. Okay, that's right, because you were talking about how beautiful it was.
Right.
And she was like, I've already been on a plane. It's not that big of a deal.
Debbie's done a lot of things. I could sit and listen to her for hours.
Yeah, really? So
Hours.
she was interesting?
I adore her.
Nice.
She honestly is so hysterical and nurturing. Like, she was so kind and cared about me. Like, she's a great woman. Yeah, she's a little bit hard for some people, but
Mhm.
I think she's great. I adore her.
Well, she dominated a whole episode once. So that was
Yeah.
an interesting episode when she went off on everybody, which was pretty much fake, I'm pretty sure. So
It felt really real being there.
yeah, it looked really real.
All right, so I want to lead into another feedback. But at first, oh man, I had a great. Oh, I know it was Kelly Wentworth that talked about the fruit because San Juan del Sur was before Worlds Apart. I was thinking it was her, but she was just in the second chance. But I forgot San Juan del Sur, which to me was not a great season, unfortunately. But I loved Cagayan because we had such a strong winner. I thought with Tony. And then San Juan del Sur was, to me, was just weak because of the players. And then Worlds Apart came in, and there were so many unique characters, so many different personalities. And I hate calling them characters because you're not characters. You're playing yourself. You're doing everything as your own. How would you compare the Worlds Apart cast to the Game Changer cast as far as potential people that could win a season? Obviously, well, Sarah's from Cagayan, but still, other than Mike, could you see any other winners come out of Worlds Apart? And realistically, who else do you think would be a bettable winner if they were to play again after Game Changers?
Ooh, I obviously think there was a lot more people with potential to win in season 34.
Yeah.
I think even though I didn't vote for Mike, obviously watching it with everybody else, he was clearly the deserving winner. If anybody could have also won, I think season 30, maybe Mama C. She had a really good social part and was a good athlete and understood the game and everything. But honestly, Mike dominated, not even physically, but I mean, every part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, since you brought it up, we had Mama C on recently and asked her, did you ever ask Sierra why she voted for you? And she actually said she didn't. She never got a chance to. Why did you vote for Mama C versus Mike?
I spent every day with Mike Holloway from day one. I never left his side. So that's not the reason why I didn't vote.
Okay. I was going to say.
No.
So I knew he didn't deserve it.
But I'm saying I saw his game, every single part of his game. And I saw a lot of faults in it. Socially, which I think is a big part of Survivor, he didn't have a good social game in my eyes. And I saw Mama C, who strategically played a good game socially. She was a really good athlete. So to me, she was the whole package of what a soul survivor is. And that's why I voted for her.
So whenever you got out on the island and you looked at everybody, of course you saw everybody ahead of time. When you first saw everybody, who were you thinking, okay, I have got to get them out of the way?
Which season?
34.
34? I got to get him out of the way, like get him gone?
Yeah. They cannot last longer than me, besides everybody.
Yeah, I was just going to say everybody. I was looking around and I was like, holy shit. First and foremost, I love Sierra, but I wanted her to go because hello to Sierras, that could get real confusing real quick.
Yeah, we appreciated that. Yeah, that helped.
So, just only because of her name.
No, because of the name. Just because of the names.
But
yeah,
I mean, hello, she sent her mom home, so I was terrified of her. I mean, everybody. I looked around. Tony scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, Malcolm, he's one of my good friends, but he reminded me of Joe. And I'm like, I can't beat him. Just people who I knew I couldn't beat physically scared me, which was a lot of people.
Yeah.
So did you get any calls? I mean, you were obviously a 48-hour replacement for, I think it was Natalie.
Right.
Did you get any calls within the Survivor community saying, hey, have you gotten called for this season? Have you gotten reached out? Have they reached out to you? Did you have any clue of who you're going to see out there?
Yes. So I did go out to LA and get my vaccinations and do everything, but that was at the first of the year. So when I was out there, I saw Culpepper. I saw a couple of people who were out there. There's about 5 or 10 of us. So I did see, and obviously having Mike as a best friend, he knows everything. And he was filling me in upon like who, had been talking and who was going to be out there. And I was friends with Troy's aunt, so I knew he was. So yeah, there was a couple people that I knew would be out there.
All right, so getting back to the feedback I was going to get to when I started, it was from Dave Holsworth, and his first question was about comparing the cast for Worlds Apart, and I added comparing them together. His second question was, why was Brad wearing a canvas sack for the last episode in Final Tribal? Was he auditioning to be Dobby the house elf?
So those little bags were we had to have those to climb over this mountain to get onto to go to challenges and stuff. So we would go over and steal those because they were sandbags. So in the middle of the night, we'd go over and those would be our sleeping bags or our pillows. We'd fill them full of sand. So we were trying to like use them. I don't think there's really a reason behind it. I think he just was like, sure, I don't know. We just lived in those stupid bags.
Yeah. So how far did you have to walk? Go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
How far did you have to walk to the challenges?
It depended. It depended if you had to take a boat. So it depended if the shore or whatever it's called, if the water was in or out. I'm a mountain girl.
The tide.
Thank you. The tide. If the tide was in or out, if it was in, we could go right in front of our beach. If it was out, we had to do this long, massive hike to go to the other side of the island. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always been under the impression that they basically pull up to your beach in a boat. And then you get in it, and you go underneath, and you're not allowed to say anything. And then you go, and then you kind of walk in.
Yeah, and that is true. I mean, it was different from Nicaragua. Nicaragua, we were on the same land the whole time. But for Fiji, we had a lot of boat rides.
Yeah. So what did you think of? So it's day one, and you're out there with Andrea and Serena and all them. Who did you want to get with immediately?
Immediately, I was drawn to JT. I feel like we're the same type of people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, JT, I really wanted to work with. I never thought Brad Culpepper would be my go-to man. Never in a million years.
Yeah, boy, he was like totally different.
Right, he was amazing.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
blew my mind.
Can you do the laundry for me? Sure.
Yeah, he was so sweet and kind. If I was cold, we'd back to back use body. He was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Did he ever pick you up and work out? Here, come over here. I need to work out.
No, he was too weak. Come on.
All right, David, you got a feedback?
No, I got questions.
Okay.
I was pulling up some data from the past seasons, and I found your questions for Game Changers. And I like some of them but now I want to ask you the same questions, but after Game Changers, because these were your pre-Game Changer questions. Like during Worlds Apart, what were you most proud of? And you said my loyalty. I set aside pride and played the game. I'm proud of my physical strength. I was a strong competitor in every challenge. After Game Changers, what were you most proud of from this last season?
That I didn't hold back. That I, like I said, went guns blazing. I maybe went too hard, but I knew I had to. I wanted to have a million reasons to stand up to these people that I admired as Survivor players and tell them why I deserved $1 million in the end. So for me, it was taking a gamble to make it that far, but I wanted to have all of these reasons. So I was really proud of that. I didn't hold back. I wasn't scared at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely showed in the edit. And the next question was, what, if anything, do you regret? And you regretted not making a big move. And to win, you have to do that. And this time you're willing and ready to do whatever it takes. Do you feel like you did that this season?
I feel like I did. Obviously you question things if I would have gone with the girls, if this and that. But I truthfully feel like I did the very best I could. I obviously regret telling Sarah, and I'm sure we're going to get into that. But other than that, I was really proud of my gameplay this time around.
Okay, well, why don't we go ahead and talk about that? So
let me read Paul Somerville's feedback real quick, because it has to do with that. It says, he says, did you panic and overreact telling Sarah everything? Do you think you could have worked more with others about throwing Brad under the bus and lasted longer in the game?
Absolutely. They didn't show that me and Sarah sitting there was 2 hours prior to me telling her that I had the secret advantage. I'm going to preface, when I found that secret advantage on day one, I looked at the man upstairs and I was like, okay, you're telling me I deserve to be here, because I questioned it like everybody else out there questioned it. So when I found that, I was like, oh, this is it. Like, Sierra, you got to play hard.
Yeah.
So from that moment, I wasn't going to tell anyone I had it for the whole game. I told myself I'm not telling anybody. And back to me and Sarah, we're sitting there, 2-hour conversation. She's crying hysterically. I'm holding her. She's promising on her child's life that she would never get rid of me. I mean, making all of these huge promises. And I don't know what happened. I think it was just seeing my dad, and I was vulnerable and starving, that it just came out. When I watched myself tell her, I see the fear in my eyes. It's crazy to watch myself do it because I see the regret as I'm telling her.
Yeah. So you said the conversation with you in the hammock happened before you found, or you told her? Is that what you said?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
The conversation where you were in the hammock and she was telling you how you're my girl. You're my girl. Did I hear you say that was before you told her, or was that something, or did you say something else?
Shoot, I don't remember if that was before or after. I was saying when you see us sitting out by the water, and I had told her about the advantage. We'd been there for at least 2 hours. Ah,
that's right. Boy, and she was interesting.
She was crying hysterically. I was literally holding her as she was like crying.
Yeah.
And I was just loving on her, and it was crazy.
Do you think it was game, or do you think she was really having a moment?
You know, she's told me it was real. She called me after the episode. She has explained it's real. It's still, to be honest, hard to believe. Yeah. I couldn't lie that well, so I would like to believe that it was real. But I don't. I mean.
Yeah, I guess you kind of question everything that happens on the island after the game is over. You know, was it gameplay? Was it not? You know.
Yeah, you have to. It's like, I thought you were my best friend, but
yeah,
it wasn't yours.
Yeah, apparently, she was everybody's best friend.
Oh, she was
somehow
good,
she got away with it. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, every episode almost, especially after the first few, because Sarah didn't go to tribal for a while either until later, but once the merge hit, it was like, who's Sarah's friend this week?
Right.
It felt like, did you get that too when you were watching it? It's like, oh, now Sarah's really close with Suri. Oh, now Sarah's really close with Sierra. Oh, now she's really close with Brad. You know,
especially at Ponderosa, when people would get voted out and we would have all that time to talk, we would be like, no, she's my best friend. And they'd be like, no, she's mine. And we would literally argue about it and be like, no, she promised on her son. No, she promised on her son to me. So she played us all like a fiddle, honestly.
And nobody thought, wait a second, maybe she's told us all this and we need to do something about it.
No, she was that good. She was that good that you believed her.
Wow.
Okay, well, we talked to her last week, and we had a question of how many alliances did she have, or who was her top number one. She said, and we said 19 alliances. That's how she played. She made a final 2-pack with 19 people.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so when she voted, when the tribes voted you out, and she did the big, obviously you believed her, right?
You guys, like watching that back, it makes me sick, and still when I think about it. I remember seeing my name getting voted out. I look at Brad Culpepper, and he gave me absolutely nothing. He didn't give me sadness or shock or anything. And I look at Sarah, and she's starting to cry. And she's like, I don't know what happened. So I was like, freaking Brad Culpepper voted me out. Can't believe it. I mean, she played me as I was leaving the game. She still was playing me.
Yeah. So when did you find out that she was playing you?
When the next person got voted out, they came and told me that she had voted for me. And I was like,
you're like, production, can I go rewrite another name, please?
Seriously, can I just scratch through that Sharpie and name?
So was it hard to watch all that whole thing with the advantage play out? Was that difficult?
You know, watching it play out, not so much, because I feel like by giving it to Sarah, that insane tribal happened. If I would have gave it to Brad, you know, it would have been different. So for that, which I love Suri, and it's sad that she had to go home, but it was such a cool survivor moment.
It really was.
So for that, I'm a little bit happy about it, but it honestly feels like I got cheated on. The next day after getting sent home and watching it all play out, I felt like my boyfriend had cheated on me.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, because the next person after you was Andrea, and she was basically from the other side of the fence from you, so she could give you everything that came from Sarah and Suri. So yeah, I bet that was revealing when she came showed up at Ponderosa. So what was Ponderosa like? We saw the hair braiding and stuff. Yeah, besides the hair braiding, but the rest of it was, how much of the day did y'all talk about the game?
It's funny. The person who would always get voted out, would spend a day talking about it. But then it was so much different from my first season. My first season, we all hung out together. We're in the pool. This time around, everybody did their own thing.
Really?
Never really saw Ozzy. Everybody was in their own room doing their own thing. And then I got sick, so I had to go to the hospital out in Fiji. So I was dealing with medical stuff most of the time. So I really didn't get to enjoy people.
So when you were out there and Ozzy was there, did Ozzy continually talk about how he had done this Ponderosa thing several times?
I mean, he just sat in the like theater room and just watched movies and played games on the TV. I never probably said 5 sentences to him.
Wow. So I wonder if it was for those folks, it was kind of like, well, we've done this before and we're going to talk about it over dinner. So I'm not going to talk about it now. I'm just going to do my own thing. Whereas to me, the first time you ever go to Ponderosa is your first season. It's kind of like you want to experience the whole thing.
Yeah.
You want to hear everything, and there's never enough to hear.
Right.
There's always something you're going to learn new.
Absolutely. Right. You nailed it.
Just like we learned in talking to Sarah last week about Troyzan's full speech at Final Tribal that we didn't get to hear, how he identified with each person and how he knew each person. Do you think that might have moved anybody, or is it still no way he was going to get a vote?
I feel like if it was a first season, he probably could have. Being all returning players and game changers, you had to do big things. I mean, you couldn't just float through. And as much as he did do little moves, he didn't do game-changing moves. So it was nice. Yeah. It was sweet. He tried, but it wasn't going to win my vote.
Well, it was one of my favorite moments whenever the little bit that they showed us, because it was so humble, and it was like, it was a pleasure playing with you. It was a pleasure playing with you. I personally really liked that moment. So, when they told you about the new Final Tribal, when they told you about the new Final Tribal format, your initial reaction, and then as it played out, same as your initial reaction, or what did you feel about it?
And when did they tell you all this? When did they first tell you about the new format?
When did they tell us? I believe Jeff told us right the tribal before Final Tribal is when I believe he told us that it was going to be a different Final Tribal. What was the other question? Sorry.
What did you think of it? And
what's your take?
I like it. I think it's awesome. It's, you get to hear people's side more. We touch on every aspect of the game. It's not one person stands up, like in our season where Jen Brown stood up and addressed us jury members instead of the people. It was really cool because we all got to talk. And obviously you guys didn't see, but each and every one of us got to talk about each and every topic.
Yeah.
So it was cool. I feel like it really gave them a chance to tell us why they deserve to win.
Yeah, it feels like it was more of a conversation that takes on natural, trails, which is a whole lot better than just one person standing up saying some question that CBS approved,
Exactly.
So now you don't have a CBS person there going, okay, now you need to ask this question in this way. You just get to react to what people say.
Yeah, you interject. Somebody says something, you're like, actually, that's a really good question. I have to ask you about this. So yeah, it leads to tons of different questions.
So whenever Brad was getting, they were at gameplay, and he was getting, I won this challenge. I won this challenge. I won this challenge. Was Sarah's, but he's a professional player. Did that have the effect that she wanted it to? Did it like put a hole in the bubble of him doing so well in that section?
Possibly. It didn't for me. I mean, it may have for other people. I feel like what hurt Brad too is that he's very successful in life generally. And so people didn't want to give him the title of Soul Survivor because he already makes a lot of money. They didn't really look at his game. Yeah. They were like, who needs it more in life aside from who played a better game?
Right. Well, I can see that.
Yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
Yes and no. I being, a professional barrel racer, just because I practice more than the other girls doesn't necessarily make me deserve to win. I think it depends on what you're doing. So I kind of feel like, no, it should have been based on the game, in my opinion.
Yeah. So like with barrel racing though, you're like, it's a time thing, right?
Yeah, it's a timed event, and
Right, okay.
yeah.
Okay. It's just go ahead, David.
No, I got some other areas, but we might come back to Final Tribal. But Patty has a question in the chat room. She wanted to know if you saw anybody's reaction to your vote out other than Sarah's. Like, did you see Aubrey's confused reaction or anything like that?
I saw Andrea's confusion because she looked at Sarah. She was in between me and Sarah. It was me, Andrea, Sarah. And she saw the way Sarah looked at me, and I saw her look back at Sarah, but it didn't process why she gave that look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So go ahead, David.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
How awesome was it? I was just looking, and apparently you were voted out in both seasons, the episode of the Loved Ones Challenge. Wow.
I know. I tell my daddy's bad luck. I'm like, I love you and you're my best friend, but if I ever play this game again, you're not coming because every time I see you, I go home. So
it's like, in fact, from now on, you can't even come to any of my barrel races.
Oh, poor dad.
No, you just stay away.
Right?
You stay
poor
away.
Poor guy. He tries to pump me up too, and I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
So you mentioned about Brad having a hard time winning because he makes so much money, or just who he is, so to speak. I think on the other end, I don't know do you think Ty could ever put together a 39-day game where he gets the most votes at a Final Tribal since you've experienced the time with him that you did?
Absolutely not.
The Ty time.
I love Ty.
Okay.
I think he's great, but
nicest guy, yes.
But you guys don't see what we see. He's great at finding idols. I mean, he's mediocre at challenges, but his social part isn't as good as I think it is shown.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's any way he could, especially getting to the end and being able to tell why.
Right.
I just don't think he could.
Can you give examples of his social game not being what they show us?
Yeah, he is a very bossy, very, very bossy around camp. Tells people what to do. Likes to be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
He's, really shown as a nice guy, which he is. And, I'm sure it's just because we're all hungry, but he is very, a lot of us can keep our cool, and he's not one who can do that.
So he would lose his temper and stuff?
Absolutely.
Wow. And he was very controlling.
Very controlling, which I was super excited to play with him. And then getting out there, I was shocked that he was that way.
Well, now the chickens, his first season might have given you an idea. Because,
right, I should have learned.
Because if there's a bunch of chickens and they are all willing not to eat them because of Ty, that may have been a clue.
Oh, yeah. I remember a couple of days into the game, we obviously did the marooning and we had all of the food. And he would take the food that we got off of the ship and feed the chickens. And we're like, Ty, no. And he wouldn't listen. He would go aside and take our food that we're supposed to be eating and feed his stupid chickens all the time. So he kind of just did stuff for Ty.
Yeah. So who else surprised you? You were expecting one way of gameplay and like, whoa, I didn't know that about them.
Obviously, Brad. I figured he was going to be just a big fat jerk. And he was so kind.
He's decorating. And...
Right. Yeah. Right. Such a nice guy. Such a nice guy. Who else? I mean, just playing with Troyzan, being friends before, I thought his gameplay would be a little different. He's very laid back as he is in life. I thought in Survivor, he might be a little more forceful.
Right.
But he still played the game pretty chill.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody. I was shocked to play with everyone.
So we've talked to other people about this, and it's almost unanimous in that there is a link about same season players playing in another season, except for Sierra and Haley. Why is that an issue for Sierra?
Yeah.
Is it a height thing? Is it?
Did she got it a modeling thing? Something? I mean, what's going on?
I don't know. I will say, this is just a funny side note. Before leaving, I find out, right, the night before I leave, I shoot her a text and I said, hey, girl, see you in Fiji. And her reply was, who's this? New phone, who this? Like, excuse me? So that in and of itself shows our friendship. I don't have a friendship with her.
You were not in her contacts.
I mean,
all she saw was a number.
Exactly. And that just shows we never talk. She's a cute girl. She's fun. She's amazing, but we don't mesh.
Yeah.
Especially in the game. In life, we do. I mean, we still lead different lives, but in the game, we just can't figure it out. I don't know.
So it's like oil and water. So what happens when you're in the game and oil and water have to mix?
They don't.
Yeah, they just don't.
Yeah, they go whoop, they
yeah.
try for a second and then they part.
They go their separate ways, right?
It's like you both walk up to each other and go, no, we'll just
Yeah. Love you. Good luck, but I just don't think I can do this.
Wow. What season were you on again? Yeah. Okay.
What's your name
It's
again?
so bad.
So I think I heard that you guys did not hear the title until you were on the boat. Is that right?
No, that's false.
Oh, you heard it before then?
Yeah. So my first season, we heard it when we were on the mats in front of Jeff.
Okay.
Second season, he came in to pregame and told us. He came in and sat us all down and was like, here's the theme of the season type of deal. So it was different because it was before all of like our interviews and stuff. So it kind of was like, holy cow. Like now I know what it is. It kind of got you pumped up.
So after he's told you that, was the look on everyone's face, oh, wow, I'm a game changer? Or how is this person considered a game changer?
I'm sure other people were doing that judging. Honestly, the first thought that came to my mind was, okay, is it because we're game changers or is the game changing? Do I need to be on my toes because this time around, Jeff's going to throw some crazy stuff at us? So for me, I was like, okay, it might be defining us, but it might be defining the game too. In my head is what I was thinking.
I thought you were going to say your first thought was, gosh, 48 hours ago, I was in a bed.
Yeah, right? That too.
So Patty wants to know in the chat room, was Sierra upset at all with Ty hoarding all those idols? He could have flipped the game earlier and maybe a different turnout for Brad's side.
Yes, I was. Obviously, obviously he played one for me. But
kind of. Brad really played it for you.
True. Absolutely true.
I'm going to play my idol for Sierra.
Which, mind you, we caught
Pretty
him.
girl.
He would have never played it. We caught him. We saw him sprint to the water well, and Brad's like, I'll be back. And snuck up on him and saw him with it. So he wasn't going to play it. Let's be honest. That early. But you know who I really was disappointed didn't play their idol? Was Troyzan. We really could have changed things. He never told me he had one. Me, him, and Brad were in a really tight alliance. So if anyone, I was really upset when I found out he had one that he didn't change the game.
Do you feel like that was kind of one of those things where, okay, this is going to change my game? Not yet. Okay, this is going to change my game. Not like he didn't want to get rid of it because of how good it could be.
I think so. And I think when you're in the game, you're like, this gets me one day further. If I'm not hearing my name, do I want to play this for someone else or do I want to stay in the game?
Yeah.
So you run that through your head too.
Yeah.
So on that note, first of all, if Ty ever plays again, I don't think he'll ever be allowed to walk alone. I don't think anybody's
oh
gonna
my
let him go
gosh,
anywhere by
right?
himself.
All right.
But also after that tribal where Sari got, you have to go because you don't have an idol.
Yeah.
After that tribal, did you guys, I know you were waiting for Sari to come in, but at the same time, did y'all go back to Ponderosa and say, let's count that up. How many idols were in this game? How many advantages were in this game? How many things got played and didn't get played? Did y'all really ever stop and take a tally at that point and say, man, they tried to change the game by immuning everyone and advantaging everyone? Did that come across in conversation?
Oh, absolutely. Even sitting there. Like sitting on the jury watching it. I mean, you see my face. I can't even sit still. My legs are flying up. I'm covering my mouth. I mean, we're all talking saying, are you kidding me? One person raises their hand, the next, and it is like you're watching a movie. I feel like I was at home watching it. It was absolutely mind blowing. It just showed that they truly did want to not only call us game changers, but change the game as well with all of those advantages.
Yeah. In fact, Sarah said that all that was planned out. You
Oh,
know?
really?
Yeah. The whole thing was scripted. They knew exactly when who was going to do what.
Oh,
And it was all, well, no, like they planned so that
Her, Brad, and Troyzan knew.
Yeah,
Both.
yeah. So they were gonna
really?
they kind of wanted to make it a show for the jury, you know, not just everybody play at the same time, but really kind of, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Well, they got us. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what we were
at the-
doing.
At the pasta dinner, she said they made all their arrangements. They made them give each other things to make their promises, and that's when Troyzan shared his idol that they had. That he had an idol as well, and so they just went into crazy mode about having all that stuff.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
And Brad gave her his wedding ring.
That's what I heard. Golly.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. So
All
play Kirk's feedback. Let's go ahead and answer that
okay.
question.
This is Kirk Nelson. Here you go.
Hi, Dwaine and David. This is Kirk Nelson. I would just have a question for Sierra. Would Sierra ever consider playing Survivor again? I'm from Northwest Iowa. I'll hang up and listen to her response. Thank you.
There you go.
Oh, awesome. Well, first of all, thanks for calling and asking that. The competitor in me says yes.
Mhm.
Yesterday, like, put me in, coach, tell me when.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My body, it really messed it up this time around. But my answer is yes. I would chance it. I would chance having lifelong health issues to play again.
Yeah.
Do you think it was the lack of prep time, or do you think it was the conditions in the game itself?
I think it was the game itself. This is TMI, but both seasons. So I went 37 days the first season, 32 my second. I only went number 2 once in both seasons.
Whoa.
So,
Well, of course, now you didn't eat as much either, but still.
people were having bowel movements. Like,
Yeah.
people were still, things were still working. So I don't know. I think my body's I eat a lot generally in real life. And so I think being out there, it's just such a shock on my body.
So was it like painful?
When I actually went?
No.
Oh.
No.
TMI. That's
Wow.
TMI. That
Wow.
part would be
No.
TMI. Yeah.
No, because if you don't get to go number 2 for a long time, it begins to get painful, So I guess I'm wondering, did it affect your gameplay, or did it affect, not just was it uncomfortable, but did it affect other things?
It wasn't painful. I didn't have like a stomach ache.
Okay.
And I should preface saying in real life, I go like once a week. So like
Oh my gosh.
already really weird, but still, 37 days, that's a long time.
Wow.
I can't believe we're talking about my bowels right now, but yeah,
You brought it up.
I did.
Sierra.
I have no shame,
Wow.
but yeah,
Wow. 37. Wow.
I know.
So let me just give you some free advice as your non-official therapist. As a 2-time player and unfortunately 2-time juror, you will continue to think about playing again, whether you decide to play or not.
Yeah.
So since you will, and you probably already have, if you get back on a season of all returning players, have you thought about what you would do different?
100%. That's the craziest part. I've already ran it all through my head. And
Well, only like 6 people are ever going to listen to this podcast. So you can tell us.
That's
if you wanna.
what I would do different.
Yeah, I mean, in general.
Yeah, generally, I feel like I took a lot from what I learned in my first season, applied it to my second. Now I went a little bit too hard. I just feel like, I have the social part. I'm going to keep my mouth shut if I find anything. Obviously, I learned that the hard way. But I also learned you can't go too hard. I can't be telling people what to do. A lot of the game this time around, I got called the head of the snake a lot because I was telling people what to do. And you can't do that in Survivor. So there's a fine line of making moves and making moves that people see. I want to be able to say it in the end and then maybe not know I was doing it instead of pointing my finger and telling people what to do.
Yes. Sarah had a good point in that she said the perfect storm had to happen for her game to go the way it did. It couldn't have just been by her own work. She said between your advantage and different people getting voted out. And she goes, it all had to be a perfect storm because she wouldn't have done it on her own. But it seemed like in Worlds Apart, you found a good spot for Worlds Apart. And I'm not calling you a coaster or tail rider, whatever they call this, tail rider, but you found a good spot to get to the end.
Right.
and it just didn't quite work towards the end. Where in this season, you found a good spot, but at the same time, you were able to sit in a taller seat,
Right.
and make more decisions, and it shine a greater light on you. So I think that's what you're getting at is you got to find that in between balance.
There's a weird place that you have to find that you're making enough moves, but you're not doing too much and you're not doing too little. It's hard. And like she said, everything has to happen. That gave me the chills when you said that, because it is like everything just has to happen in your favor.
Because Mike didn't find the perfect spot. He just won challenges and he had an idol.
Right.
And like you said, his social game wasn't perfect, but he didn't find the right spot. Whereas Carolyn had a good social game, but it's like her profile wasn't there because she wasn't in the light as much as Mike was. And where same thing with Tony, I think he did find a perfect spot and he made moves at the right time. So his lightning struck at the right time. And just for Sarah, this is why this was a good season to me. And I'll admit, I wasn't super excited about another returning player season when we just had one like a time before. But this was a great season because so many things had to happen to get to day 39. And we got so many good views of people that we didn't get before. That's one thing I do like about Second Chances. We get to see people play different. Like Wentworth played different. You played different. Brad played different. I kind of know how Ty's going to play. Bless his heart. But I'm more interested in people that are going to push the envelope like you did and go try to find that different seat at the table and try to make bigger moves to get to the end, because you're right. You can't you can only ride to a certain point and they're going to get rid of you if you're not in the right seat calling the shots. And I think you were. And that one flip where Sarah flipped on you and they went the other way and the whole game, and there could have been different things come up, but it really felt like things were locked in at that point. And you and Brad and Troy had a really hard row to hoe to get to the end and get a lot of votes at the end. I
truthfully feel like she cost me $1 million. Of course, we all think we can win the game, but I feel like, I was close with everybody. If I could have gotten there, I could have had a million reasons to tell these people.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
If you're sitting with Brad and towards the end, I think you're a millionaire right now.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one of the people on the season and her previous season that I enjoyed watching was Michaela. But apparently y'all didn't enjoy playing with her as much as I enjoyed watching her. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your relationship with Michaela?
Mine and Michaela's relationship was tough. We never were on the same page. She is a great person 80% of the time. But when things don't go Michaela's way, she has no tact, no self-control, and she kind of loses it. And it may be the no food, it may be the living on the island, and it honestly may be me being irritable because I'm starving. In real life, she probably wouldn't bother me. But out there, she drove me absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. Well, I think it was before her first season, she said one of the most difficult parts is going to be controlling this.
All the time. Like she would pull faces. I could feel her behind me pulling faces. I'm not even kidding. She did it all the time.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm going to pour myself some water and drink it.
Eat. Like it drove me crazy.
Anybody else out there drive you crazy?
Did anybody else drive me crazy?
Yeah. No, she was pretty much the big
I think
one.
she was pretty much it.
Yeah. All right.
Now, what about her and Zeke? What were your thoughts seeing them? What was your read, or did y'all talk about how you're going to interpret these two new people that you've never met before?
We were very inquisitorial. We would ask each of them separately about each other and about the season to see if things lined up, if they were telling the truth. I loved Zeke. I got along with him very well from day one. So
it's a social game. He's a social butterfly. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah. I enjoyed watching him both seasons. Like in the first season when he went out there kind of concerned, and then he started the fire and this and this and this, and you could just watch the confidence build up,
Oh yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
He's amazing. I love him.
Yeah. Wow. So what, David, you were about to say something?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, because you're older than me. You are older than me, David.
No, my only thought was, who was in your final? Actually, it's my last thought because it's towards the end of the game. But who was in your ideal final three? I know you probably had agreements with people, but who did you want to take to the end and sit with?
My legit final three was me, Brad, and Troyzan, or me, Brad, and Debbie. Because I truthfully thought I could beat any of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I know this is a common question, but I'm actually interested in it. What are some things that happened on the island? Because we know the story is told that needs to be told for the person who wins, right? So what are some things on the island that you have really fond memories of that obviously did not get shown? I know the rap battles, but were there other things that made your time, made those difficult times more bearable?
For sure. I'll tell you a couple. One, when Debbie went home, she left her one piece behind. And I remember sneaking out of camp and putting it on and giving everyone a runway show out of nowhere. Just came in stomping and they were all cheering for me. And just like a moment to step away from the game and just have fun, you know? What else is fun things? We play basketball all the time. I beat the boys every single time, beat Caleb and Brad at Pig. Just weird, fun things to pass time that they don't show.
Right. Do you have a favorite one, or was it the catwalk?
I think the catwalk's a good one. Towards the first of the game, I think it was probably like day 3 or 5, there was a really big storm and it poured rain. And we ended up deciding, you know what, being under the shelter with the water dripping is worse than just standing out by the fire. So we built this huge bonfire and everybody got down into their underwear. I stood on the other side of the fire and was like doing this sexy dance and everyone was loving it and they were laughing. And
all the guys were going, we're not voting her off. We're building a bonfire every night.
And I'm just over there dancing in the rain, being an idiot. And then I remember Ozzy got naked and I was like, am I really seeing Ozzy naked right now? And he was like fixing the fire and my mind was like,
naked?
Welcome
fixing
to
the fire naked. That sounds,
because it was pouring rain and it was so cold to have anything on.
It still sounds very dangerous.
I'm sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So one last question. Going back to your Worlds Apart questionnaire. Do you still consider yourself to be most like Parvati Shallow?
No, I wish. I love how she's just can get along with the guys, but a strong, independent woman. I mean, I would love to. I mean, I try to be like her, but do I think I play like her? No, she obviously is a much better player.
I think she's a good player, but I also think you have to take into account it's like looking at the baseball players from the 40s and the baseball players from the 90s.
Sure, totally different.
She played with a different group of people.
Right.
You know, and when you play Game Changers or when you play Second Chance, you are playing with people that have taken the test before.
Right.
They know what's going to be on the test. They know what boundaries they can push. They know which production people they can talk to and which ones they can't. And it's just a harder game. You know, and I people that win Second Chance seasons or returning seasons, I just give a lot of credit because somehow you made everybody look the other way and you got to the end and then they looked your way finally and gave you the money. So
tough.
Yeah. Well, it was fun watching you both seasons. I know you had.
It was.
I know you were disappointed, and your dad was a bad omen. But
poor dad.
So next time when you play, if you want to call Dwaine, I'm sure he'll come out there and support you. And
perfect.
Right.
My loved one.
Yeah, her loved one. Right. Yeah.
The horse. You might have better luck with the horse.
We'd be the only loved ones that come out and shake hands.
Right. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Did you bring me anything? Did
you bring any food?
Yeah. I could really use a candy bar. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And that kind of brings up, what did you most crave, like food wise? So you're sitting around the fire and you're going, oh, if I could eat this.
Oh yeah. I live on gas station burritos. I eat one every day. Nice. So I craved those a lot. The first thing I ate
ladies and gentlemen, she's a model. She drinks and she goes from gas stations and she's a model.
She eats her entire calories when she gas in her car.
Yep, gas station burritos and whiskey are my go-to things.
Nice.
Wow. But no, when I got off of this season, the first thing I wanted to eat was grilled cheese sandwiches, and I ate about 6 of them. The most random thing ever.
That was in your Ponderosa video.
Oh yeah, I guess you guys did see that.
Yeah, I
You
saw
know,
that
this
one.
is what's crazy about doing our show sometimes, because like for me, it's 10:15. Sometimes we don't get done till 11 something my time. It's 12 something David's. And we get done and we always end up talking about food. And so
Now
I
we're
get
hungry.
done. Yeah. So I get done. I'm like, well, Taco Bell's still open. You
Oh,
know,
don't even. A quesarito, I would slaughter one right now.
see what I'm saying? We're gonna get done with this podcast, and you're gonna get up off your floor, rip down the black thing, move the blanket off of your lap, hop on a horse, and go to Taco Bell and go
Oh
through the
my gosh.
drive-through.
Exactly what I'm doing. Exactly.
So yeah, we should stop talking about that because I tried the Dorito tacos and I never should have tried the Dorito tacos.
They're so good.
They're bad for your fingers, but they're so good to
Oh my
eat.
gosh, they're so good.
Okay, which ones were those? Because I don't think I've had those.
The Dorito shells tacos. That the
Mhm.
shells are Doritos. Oh my word!
They're so good.
Don't even
Stop.
try one.
All right, so Sierra, when you're at home and not at a gas station,
Right.
and it's 11 o'clock at night, what is your go-to food?
A cheese quesadilla, hands down.
So you get out the stuff, you pour all the cheese on it. Do you like grill it or?
I have
you
a quesadilla maker.
I have
So
one
I
of those
whip
too.
out my quesadilla maker, put some cheese,
Yeah.
load the cheese, and you just close it. Close that
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. Is it red like mine?
Yes, it is red.
We have the same one.
We do. That's
I
so
got-
funny.
I got mine at a garage sale.
See, I got mine for my birthday. Maybe
you
a garage
go.
sale too.
Yeah. And David's looking over at us going, okay, the only quesadillas I ever make, I make handmade. And David's a cook, man.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
I'm still on the Dorito tacos. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking-
I will call David. I'll say, David, what are you doing? Oh, I'm making dinner for the family. We're going to have like 4 pizzas and some fried chicken stuff.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Seriously. He's always
just love
cooking.
I love the look on people's faces when they eat my food. So I'm just
Right.
I love to cook.
All right. So this
Awesome.
this is kind of fun. So if you're not drinking whiskey with your burrito, what's your go-to non-alcoholic drink? Do you know of any?
Horchata. Horchata. Stop it. I love horchata. I drink it by the gallons.
What is that?
Excuse me?
Excuse me. What is that?
Horchata.
Horchata is a Mexican milk, and it is
Oh.
God's gift to man.
But where do you get it? I've never seen it before.
My mind is exploding right now that you've never drank horchata in your life.
And he's from Texas.
I went to school in Texas. I freaking found horchata in Texas.
Okay. How do you spell horchata? It sounds dirty, but how
I
do you
thought it
spell?
was horse cheddar, is what you're saying at first.
You guys really don't know what horchata is?
I do not, and I feel like you think we're idiots now, and I'm sorry, but
It's okay. I shouldn't be so aggressive right now. It's just my life. I drink
hey,
so much.
I don't mind. That's fine. Okay, how do you spell horchata?
I don't say it with the accent correctly, but it's HORCHATA.
Yeah.
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 All right. So if I go to
There you
Walmart,
go.
it's going to be like right by the almond milk, like as though you can milk an almond, and
It's it's gonna be by your dairy. It's a rice milk.
Okay, I know it's by dairy.
You can't milk rice.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so is there an animal called horchata, or I mean,
Yeah, right? I don't know
Yeah.
what horchata actually means. It's
Yeah.
just like this rice cinnamon milk that is divine.
wow, a rice cinnamon milk.
I'm gonna
That's it.
blow your mind right now. They actually have horchata liqueur as well. So if you
Well,
want to get a little saucy with your
It does not
horchata.
surprise me that you know that.
You had the horchata in the dairy section, and then you had the horchata on that big long aisle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got them both.
Yeah,
The long neck bottles. Yeah. That
yeah.
Oh, that's too
Crazy.
funny.
Wow. So, what are other things that you enjoy doing? It's totally
Oh,
not
I don't
right.
know.
When you're not horseback riding or climbing Mount St. Helen or doing whatever you're doing outside, what are you watching? What do you watch?
So I don't own a TV.
So she ain't watching nothing.
You are blowing our minds again.
I know.
Yeah, you're blowing my mind right now, Sierra.
Stop. I don't watch TV. I watch Netflix a little bit. I'm usually exhausted by the time nighttime comes, so I
Yeah.
go to bed. I don't know if you guys know this. I graduated with a degree in criminal justice, so that's kind of cool to take
Nice.
pride in that.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm just constantly, I ride 10 to 15 horses a day. I wake up, do chores, ride all day,
Yeah.
go to bed. It's
And
the
you
same
wake up
thing.
at like 5 or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Every day.
Wow.
My goodness.
I woke
Yeah.
up at 5 this morning. It totally shocked my system.
Yeah. It's a
I
tough
try.
life.
I get up about 4:50 because I got to be at work at 6, so I start texting him at like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here I am
Yeah.
trying to sleep. I
You're
talked
welcome.
to so-and-so today. I talked to so-and-so.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Shut up.
Yeah, I keep my
And,
phone
yeah.
on silent because I get those calls from like the
Mhm.
dirty, and I'm like, why are we in a group message at 3 o'clock in
Yeah.
the morning? I can't deal
Yeah.
with you guys.
Well, that's because they haven't gone to bed yet. And, you know,
Exactly. You think I
Yes.
drink a lot? Hang out
Yeah.
with them.
yeah. Yeah.
We wouldn't survive.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, I guess that's about it for us. Yeah, unless there's anything else you want to tell us. Anything you were thinking, I'm going to make sure I tell them that.
No, I don't think so. I had fun. I think we covered a
Well,
lot.
Well,
Yeah.
honestly, that's our goal. Just for people to have fun.
Yeah, it was totally. I loved it. Time
And now that
flew.
now that you're fully trained on podcasting, when we invite you back for next season to come on for an episode, you'll just be, tell me when.
Exactly, and it won't take me so long to like get things hooked up and
You were amazingly quick to resolve the issues that we had. That was really quick compared to some other
Good.
people who I won't name.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to use our pretty, overlays, but we don't always get to because,
Yeah.
Because some people can't figure it out.
well, either that or Google just does really weird stuff and it upsets us or it
Stop
upsets
it.
me. Or
Can I totally Snapchat us right now, like having this conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. Although I don't follow you on Snap. Is it called following on Snapchat? I don't know what it's called.
Well, actually, this is going to be on my Instagram story. So everybody smile on 1, 2, and 3. Love it.
I'm on Sierra's Instagram. I'm going to see myself later on.
I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be her hiking, me going, and then her drinking. It's going to be awesome.
You guys, is that what my life looks like from the outside? Because that is so sad. if that's truly
No,
what
I'm
it
just
looks like.
no. Actually, one of the things I really like on your Instagram stories is when you're dealing with your animals,
Oh,
because
thank
you obviously love your horses so much, and really, it's just really cool to see how much you love doing all that stuff with the horses and stuff.
I feel like I'm the crazy cat lady, but with horses. But
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I remember the story where there was you woke up and there was a horse giving birth and all that kind of stuff. I think that was about a year and a half ago or something.
Yeah, he's getting big now.
Yeah, I bet he is. Wow.
I think you've got an opportunity where I think you should make a video of you drinking horchata and saying that I only go once a week because I drink horchata. So I think you should take advantage of that.
gosh.
You might get some
Wow.
work out of that, maybe some money.
It's
just-
not healthy. Like
Yeah.
nobody wants to
No,
go
it's
once
not.
a week.
No.
it's
Okay. I really
And certainly not once every 39 days. That's definitely not
Okay.
healthy.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
Still blows my mind.
So
Now,
I
were you
know
thinking about old man Joe? Sorry, just to finish that. Were you thinking about old man Joe getting taken out of the game because he couldn't?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, both seasons I had to lie to production because
Yeah.
I would be honest for the first couple weeks, and then they would be like, "Well, have you gone yet? If not, we're gonna have to give you something." And in my mind, I'm like, I don't want a laxative while I'm out here on the
I ain't
island.
getting no suppository. You just get
Right.
away from me.
Exactly.
Sierra, why have you started the challenge yet? I'll be with you in a second.
So I started lying, which
Yeah.
also you guys will love this. I'm trying to remember. I'm wearing a blue dress. I don't remember what tribal it is, but I'm so sick. I just got out of the hospital. I literally had been taking like 18 laxatives, and I'm sitting mid-tribal. Jeff looks at me and says, "Sierra, are you okay?" And I said, "No." I sprint out of tribal, barely make it off the stage, and shit myself. Like literally right off the stage in the middle of a tribal, and I
I'm
do the walk
so
of
sorry.
shame back on stage and sit down, and I'm like, all right.
No,
let's
you did
continue.
not.
I'm not kidding. Jeff
It's-
saw it on my face. I was like shaking probably. My face was red. He's like, "Sierra, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, can we pause?" Like,
Yeah. Was
that
that
a
the
thing?
episode where everyone moved and you were sitting by yourself?
exactly. It must have been me.
Yeah. Everybody's going,
What is wrong with this girl?
"What did you do,
Yeah.
Sierra?"
Jeff, she's playing the
37
negative
days,
advantage.
and you choose right now?
Yeah, sorry, can't control it.
Yeah, what's wrong with Sarah? Oh, she's playing the negative advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Seriously,
Wow.
so bad.
Well, I mean, there just comes. Well, anyway, it seems like when you're out on Survivor on the island, it's kind of like being in the hospital. And just trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. Because when you're in the hospital, you finally just go, you know what? I don't care what you do, and I don't care what you see. Just take care of me, right?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
out on the island. You're like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go take a dump in the ocean. I don't care. I'm
Oh yeah.
gonna dance in my underwear by a fire. Big deal.
No, seriously, I remember my first season, and we were doing the intro, and people had to pee, and they would go far away. They'd climb up the hill to go and hide.
Yeah.
When a week into the game, I remember everyone was asleep in our shelter. I don't know why I tell these stories. I should be ashamed. But I was so tired, and I didn't want to get out of the shelter, so I just leaned my butt over the edge and peed while everyone was still sleeping.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Like you totally lose all of your, and I'm not really like a lady, so that's against me already.
Yeah.
So when y'all woke up the next morning, was Dan out there going, I think some animal came around here and urinated on our camp.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
It's like
And I think
right
it's a
after she
female.
does that. It's like right after she does that, the person next to her gets up and just casually walks, and you're going, "Oh no, please don't step on that. No."
Well, okay, keep in mind, it was
Squish.
just pee, guys. I only pooped once. It wasn't a
Well, I know.
weekend, so it was just pee. But still, I had no shame. I was just like, I'm gonna pee off the side of the shelter right now.
Did you just say I did not poop because it wasn't the weekend? Is that what you said?
No, I said I didn't poop because it was just a week into the game. Stop.
Excuse me, but I only
Now
poop
we
on
really know
Saturdays.
too much information.
It's
Don't
know,
bother
my
here on
bowels,
Saturdays
I
and Sundays.
It's like, hey, can you go out Saturday morning? No, I got a
Sorry.
9:30 appointment.
Oh my gosh, it's such a shame.
Rain or shine. Rain or shine.
Oh,
9:30. I'm there.
Yep. Seriously.
I remember, I'm not going to say who this was. I can't believe we're talking about, but anyway. So I went with, I know this person who only basically kind of like you, even longer sometimes. And they went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Are you serious?" They go, "Yeah. Isn't that normal?" And he's like, "No, most people go like every day." She was like,
Yeah, that's what I hear. No, that's what I hear. Some of my friends, they're like, so I go like twice a day. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that feels like a lot of work. Like I go once a week, and I'm already like, okay, this is taking up too
Like,
much
oh, I
time.
dread it.
I do.
I dread it. It's time to do the thing.
Okay, I know we don't want to talk about this more, but is it a long period of time?
Oh my
when you-
gosh. A long what?
It's not an hour or anything, is it right?
To like,
It's a lot of work.
That's when she watches Netflix. Hey, I get 3 episodes of Better Call Saul in right now.
oh my gosh. No, it's so funny. That's what everyone asks. They're like, is it like really big? Like, does it take you a minute? I'm like, no, it feels like a normal average amount of time. Average size. I don't know.
Once a week average. Yeah.
As though you would know.
Right? Like, I don't know. It feels pretty average.
I mean, you work with horses. If that's average to you,
Oh, shit.
we got a problem.
Oh, golly.
Wow. Okay.
So apparently, though, you're not the only person that lies to production. Is that a common
Yes.
thing? Because Jason told us a bunch of stuff that he didn't tell production because he didn't want to get pulled or he didn't want to be worried about that.
Oh,
So is
for
that a
sure.
common thing? Yeah. What's the worst
So.
you've heard somebody hold back from production, or is there anything really bad? I mean, Jason
Not
lost a
pooping is-
tooth. He lost teeth, and he had infections, and he said, "No, I'm fine. I'm good. Bye."
Yeah, I think a lot of people have infections, and you just don't want to be pulled from the game, like medically. Like, you rather just, fight it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do. Like, it was funny. Every morning, you can ask anyone on this cast. Every morning, I would go pee, and I'd walk out of camp, and I'd come back in, and they'd say, "Well, did you?" And I'm like, "Not today." So it's
not
kind
the
of a
weekend,
game.
no.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
kind of a game in
annual.
camp,
It's the daily poop report with Sierra.
and nothing.
We are
Sunny,
sorry to
clear
report.
day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I talked about my bowels. I'm so
Oh.
sorry.
Becky D on the chat room says y'all are crazy. Yes,
We are. Oh.
Well, this is a lot more fun than Survivor stuff.
So bad.
You know what's kind of even more scary is that she eats gas station burritos.
I think
and,
that's
and
my
only
problem.
once a week.
Yeah,
like,
I
where does
think
it
that's my
go?
problem.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
If I even
Do
look
you-
at a gas station burrito, I probably got to stop the rest of them before I leave the gas station.
Stop it. Oh, you guys, it's so bad.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, can I ask you about the story that Dan told us about the candy bar? When you asked the cameraman.
Oh, it was a granola bar.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are we talking about the same thing? Like
I
me
think
trying to get a
so,
granola
yes.
bar?
Yeah. You're like, okay, 1, but not 2.
And then do you want me to tell the story? I don't
Yeah.
care.
I love it. I love it. Go ahead.
So we were switching from day crew to night crew, and you're obviously not supposed to talk to the camera guys. They don't like you to, but
you do
they're
anyway.
to me, yeah. Like I don't want to talk to these people the whole time. I want different faces in my life. So I'm talking to one, and I look at him and I said, "So I'll let you fill my tip for a granola bar." And his face goes bright red, and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll let you fill both of them." Which, mind you, I don't do this in real life. Like,
Well,
I'm a
obviously
very good
not.
girl.
Yeah, you don't go to the gas station and go, see that burrito right there?
I'll let you fill my bill for it. Like, no, nobody does that. But in the game, I don't know what came over me. I was so hungry.
Right.
And he was like, I've been doing the show for a couple of years and no one has ever offered that,
Yeah.
which I was surprised to hear
Yeah.
that nobody had ever offered.
But then from
So I'm
then on,
interested to see if it's worth it. So
yeah. He was like, nah, that's okay. And you went, what?
I know. It's funny. I saw him at our finale and he came up and retold the story to me and my face got bright red. And I was like, so I'm sorry I did
He
that.
came up with the granola bars. When
he came up with a handful of
a
granola
whole
bars.
box of granola
Yeah,
bars.
right?
What'll this get me?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's
And then for the whole rest of the season, you were wondering why there were so many cameramen around you.
yeah, they were just waiting for me to ask them the same question, I guess.
Wow. Crazy stuff.
Oh.
Well, man. Okay, well, we could do this for a while, but probably need to stop. So it's been a whole lot of fun. And again,
thanks, guys.
you've already said this once. It's been a whole lot of fun.
It has been. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah. Now, Sierra, before we get off the air, I am going to ask you to give one final word of.
Well, you want to give her following opportunities? Give out her Instagram and all that. I don't know if are those addresses or what they are.
Yeah. Would you like people to follow you on Instagram, or would you prefer not to have an extra, 1,000?
Yeah, sure. If you want to watch my train wreck of a life, obviously.
It is
come
not
on
a train
over.
wreck.
No, I love it. Yeah. My Instagram is Sierra SIERRA _Dawn _.
Wait, _Dawn _?
Yeah, there was already a Sierra Dawn, so I had to throw in another underscore.
Yeah, like Twitter. There was a Survivor Talk.
Like, who does that? Yeah, why are you stealing me right now?
Yeah, and I mean, like, this was when we first started. It was about a year after we started. I thought, hey, I'm going to try Twitter. And it was some guy, he never posted a thing.
It's so annoying.
Survivor Talk.
Yeah.
I guess he wanted me to buy it or something.
No, they do that. They did that with my website too. My first season, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "Well, you can buy it for a couple thousand." And I was like, "No."
You're like, or you can keep it.
Right?
That's
Seriously.
Right. All right. So,
Tony did that to Spencer. Tony Vlachos did that to Spencer.
Yes,
right
he
after the
did.
season.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And then he didn't tell Spencer. And Spencer's like, man, somebody bought my thing. And Tony's like, really? How much is he asking you for it? And Tony was the one doing it.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. I love that.
All right.
That's
So now
awesome.
you're not on Twitter, either that or you hide yourself very well.
No, I don't have a Twitter.
Okay. So you have Instagram, and you probably don't want to give out your Snapchat, or you're
let's do it.
you're
Snapchat
gonna get a
me.
bunch of pics you may not want.
I just block those people. Unsolicited pictures. I'm like, nope.
Oh
You're gonna get pictures that say, "Hey, Sierra, this is twice a day."
Oh my gosh, that's actually really funny.
Yeah. You're gonna like get pictures of cinnamon crunch granola, almond, and
Oh my gosh.
All right, what's your Snapchat?
Snapchat is Sierra _Dawn 40.
You're not 40 years old.
Well, that was my basketball number.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna add you on Snapchat.
Yes,
Which she passed up a scholarship for to go to horseback riding.
I did.
That's right. Okay. Add friends. I don't do this very often. So, it's like if you go up to someone and you go, "Can I have your Snapchat?" and they're under 40, they look at you like, no. That's
Really?
awkward. Well, yeah. It's like, okay, so Sierra _
Dawn.
40.
40. Yep.
Oh, and you got a Bitmoji.
Do you see me? Hey.
My Bitmoji is a Bitmoji. My Bitmoji is a little thinner than I am.
Oh, I see you. Oh, it looks like you.
All right, here we go. Oh, look, there's us. Oh, why did I do that? That's a horrible picture. Let me.
I was about to say the same thing. I hope you're not taking a picture of that.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Sierra, talk.
Talk?
Yeah, because then you get on the picture. So, and that's see, look.
Oh, well. Oh.
Yeah, you do look like what?
Talk? Like,
All right. I won't put.
Am
that
I muted
one up
again? Talk. Okay, yeah.
All right, here we go, Sierra. Do whatever you want.
Hey.
Wait. First, here's a granola bar. Okay, ready?
Go.
All right, I took it. Awesome. Now let me see. I'll make a story.
If I knew what app y'all were talking about, I probably.
Yeah, David's like,
You don't have a Snapchat?
no, he doesn't.
No, I hate that I have a Twitter. I only have a Twitter because of this
Oh my
podcast.
gosh, I love that screenshot.
Yeah.
I check
All
it
right,
like
well.
once every month.
Yeah. He'll go. So Dwaine, what did you twit today?
Twit?
Yeah, what did you twit today? All right. Wow. Okay, I'm not going to say this was fun again.
Right. I won't either.
It was.
But it was. I'm going to go get Taco Bell.
Don't. Now I'm hungry.
So before she comes back in season 35 as a guest for one of our discussions, we all have to try horchata.
Yes.
And you're going to try Dorito tacos.
Love it.
Okay.
Next time I come on, I want us to all have a glass of horchata and drink it together as we do it.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be great.
It'd be fun.
All right, so we have a date. I have a date with Sierra.
Yes, you do.
And she's going.
And me.
Yeah, but you're not really there, David.
Tell
David,
Connie I'll be there.
David, you're the third wheel. Okay, come on. You get to sit in the front seat and drive. Okay.
That's what they call me in the modeling world, the third wheel.
They're like, do you have a bigger size?
Oh.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks to everybody who hung around. Of course, there you go. David, do you got any final words? Sierra, you're coming up. Do you have any final words, David?
You got to look for the perfect storm.
Oh,
if you can't find it, pray that it shows up.
No, right? I don't
have any. So David went for the serious final word. I'm going to go for what? What?
I'm not a kidder. I don't joke around.
Well, the perfect midnight snack, I've been eating it since I was a kid, is crunchy peanut butter. Big old thing of crunchy peanut butter and a bottle of honey, and you squeeze it all in there and you mix it up with a spoon and you eat it with a baby spoon. Now, my baby spoon that I have is not these little plastic cheap baby spoons they do now. My baby spoon, this is really awkward, I know, is a real metal spoon. And the tip of it's about as big as my pinky. So it takes you like an hour to eat it. So it's wonderful. So there's my final word.
Are you ready for your mind to explode? I promise a stack of Bibles before we got on this conversation, I had crunchy peanut butter and I poured honey on top, but mine was on a big spoon. I'm not even kidding. I swear on everything that's holy, it literally happened. That just
wow. But see, the problem with the big spoon, Sierra, is it's over too quickly.
You're right.
And nobody wants that.
I feel rushed in life even when I eat, so it's fine. I'm like, I gotta finish it.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I'm like the fourth or fifth wheel in this conversation.
Shut up, David.
I'm not even here.
All right. So Sierra, this may be awkward, but whenever I eat the crunchy peanut butter with the honey, I like to suck all the peanut butter and honey off of the nuts and then chew the. Boy, that sounded horrible.
So much for family friendly. There we go.
I didn't realize it was coming out like that. But anyway, that's how I do it. So the last thing, then you eat the peanut and then you go for your next.
Are So if we're gonna do late night words of wisdom,
Wait, I asked her a
What's-
question. I
what's-
asked her a question.
I don't think she wanted to answer the way you.
I go
What
to
is that?
town. I just eat the whole thing. I don't
just-
like separate it in my mouth. I just
Okay. I guess I just like to last a long time.
So
All right, go ahead, David.
I already introduced you to just the basic plainness of good sour cream and plain potato chips.
Yes,
But
David.
my favorite part is when you get low in the bag
Yeah, this is
and you
great.
get nothing but the half chips. You close the bag and you squeeze it like the Hulk, and you squeeze it down to potato chip dust. Then you take your spoon, a normal size non-baby spoon, and you dip it in to the sour cream just to get a sleeve of sour cream on the spoon. Then dip the spoon into the potato chip dust and then eat it off the spoon.
Yeah.
Because the sour cream holds the potato chip dust to the spoon.
Yeah.
And it's so bad, it's good.
it
Yeah.
sounds delicious.
And then
Actually.
he
amazing.
sticks the spoon back in the sour cream.
Yep.
I've been forced to use a separate bowl of sour cream, so now I have my own. But
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Well, how cool is that? So was that your
yeah,
final
we're
word?
not going
that
to even
you-
talk our next podcast. We're just going to eat and drink. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Perfect.
amazing.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. Got my.
Weren't we
buff
supposed to
thing.
talk about something? Yeah, there's something. Some show came on last night. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so was that your final word, Sierra? Was that you ate the same thing I did before the show?
I mean, yeah, and just thanks guys for the 9 millionth time. I had so much fun.
Do horses like peanut butter as much as dogs?
No,
Wait, not do they like to eat dogs, but do they?
right.
Dogs love peanut butter.
I've never fed my horse peanut butter before, so
What-
I don't think so.
What does a horse like? If I give my dog, if he sees a peanut butter jar, he's like, "You better be done with that jar, right?"
Right.
And then when I'm done, you throw it on the ground, and he's happy for the next hour and a half. What is a horse's favorite thing?
Depends on the horse, but usually if I bring out either carrots or watermelon, they start going crazy. Like
Yeah,
crazy.
carrots. That'll get me every time.
Yeah.
All
no
right.
one ever.
Dipped in peanut butter. Yes. There you
Yeah, peanut butter and honey and sour cream and chips. That's eating healthy right there, buddy.
Yep.
All right. So that's it for me and David and Sierra. We are going to sign off and tell everybody bye. So see you, everybody.
Bye.
go. See ya.
Say bye.